Hi guys, I'm Chaos ASMR, and I hope this video finds you doing well. This is going to be the first episode of an ongoing series, which is called Late Night Thoughts. Now, it is 1:25 a.m., and I am wide awake as I find myself on many nights. Oftentimes, I'll start my day off with complete brain fog. I'm definitely not a morning person in any way, shape, or form. I'm more of a night owl, but I don't want to be a night owl, so it's an interesting conflict between my consciousness and my circadian rhythm, I suppose. But it's times like these at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, all the way to 3, 4 a.m. that my mind becomes so crystal clear, sharp. I have motivation, I have creativity, I have ideas just flowing out the wazoo like crazy in a time where I basically should be asleep. And so I want to use this series as an opportunity to channel some of that. Just some of the thoughts that I have, late night thoughts, and hopefully some of you guys find value in this. I know it's not conventional ASMR, and I'm also not whispering in this series. I'm just talking using a slow cadence and relaxed voice. You'd be surprised at how difficult it is to maintain whispering for 20 or more minutes. There's a bit of a technique to it. You have to really focus on your breathing and your enunciation and things like that. It's kind of interesting. It's definitely been a learning curve for me as an ASMR channel. I also really want to limit the amount of cuts that I'm using in this video series. I don't know if you guys make videos. I don't know if you ever have, but the editing process can be some of the most daunting, time-consuming aspects of content creation, and I want this series to be like a very natural, flowing conversation. And so I might use the mute button if I have to cough. For those of you guys who don't know, I had COVID twice, and I have a lingering cough that never seems to go away. Hence the reason for so many cuts in my regular videos. So, enough rambling. This is the series. I'm gonna do this until I have enough of you guys in the comments saying, Chaos, I'm begging you, please stop with the late night thoughts. Then I'll stop. But, these definitely aren't for views. It's definitely not to clickbait you. It's just to spark a creative conversation and, as I say, channel some of the thoughts that go on inside my head. So, on with the topic of this evening. I've been thinking a lot about introverts and extroverts. You may have heard these terms before. Would you consider yourself to be an introvert or an extrovert? I find it surprisingly one-sided. I find that most people, if you ask them, will say that they're an introvert. They enjoy time to themselves, self-reflection, peace, solitude, and that too much social interaction can be exhausting to them. Now, I personally wouldn't identify with either introvert or extrovert, but that's just me. I'm not the type of person that likes to really put labels on anything, and I sound so, oh, I don't like labels, but really, you know, for me, it's purely situational. I love going to parties, social gatherings, events, meeting new people, and the whole deal there. But I also very much value alone time where I can be creative and unwind and relax and peaceful. Talking to people all day can definitely be exhausting. And it's nothing against the people that you're talking to, but I understand why so many people would choose to identify as an introvert. But again, as I say, situational, and we tend to put ourselves in boxes all the time. If you were to look at Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, A, B, and a lot of the times people, if you fit into the A category, you must agree with each and every one of their core beliefs. You can't stray from it. And same thing with the B category. And I think that's the reason for so much division in the world today. I don't know how up to date you guys stay on world events and world news and things like that, but it's just crazy how everyone wants to tear each other's heads off. I mean, what's wrong with a little peace and love, man? Like, really, peace and prosperity, that's all that I wish upon anyone. And it seems to be the one, or I guess two things that different nations and people are incapable of achieving or sustaining. But like I say, extroverts and introverts, ASMR is really interesting, and I consider it definitely a more introverted activity, and I'm sure you would agree with that. It's made to be consumed, as a way to unwind, to relax. I personally find it very soothing. It's like having a conversation, but you don't have to contribute to the conversation, if that makes sense. I've always been what I call a people watcher, at parties and things like that. And I know I just said I love them, and I do, but oftentimes people say, geez, are you having fun? Like, you're just, not talking. Is everything okay? And I say, yeah, like, I just love observing and watching people's patterns and behavior, and try to get inside their head a little bit and see where they're coming from. And I'm perfectly content to do that, but if someone were to ask me to tell a story or something, I'm totally willing to do that as well. But if left to my own natural way, most of the time I'm a bit of a people watcher. But I don't know why. If it's society as we know it today, I mean, the pandemic certainly didn't help, and all the time spent at home, but so many people. When I was in university, we did an introvert versus extrovert. I guess you would call it like a social experiment within my class, which was about 50 people in the classroom at that particular time. And they said, all right, If you consider yourself to be an introvert, go to the left side of the room. And if you consider yourself an extrovert, go to the right side. And of 50 or so people, myself and 4 others went to the extroverted side. Now again, I don't like putting labels on myself, but I definitely wouldn't say I'm either introvert or extrovert. I'm right in the middle. Depends on the situation, the company I'm with, the vibes, everything to do with that. But that's when I first realized, like, wow, there's a lot of young people that consider themselves to be introverted. But I'm not here to judge. I think whatever makes you happy, absolutely. But I do think too much time spent to yourself and not socializing can be detrimental to one's own mental health, and the exact same thing with extroverted people. Introverted, you spend so much time to yourself, reflecting, being caught inside of your own head, that it can be difficult to engage in and maintain regular conversation with people. Like, I'm a person, I hate small talk so much. You have no idea. When I get to know you, I want to know, like, what are your dreams? What are your goals? What do you think about this? Tell me something about your childhood. Things that really reveal a person's inner character, I suppose. Not, oh, you see the game last night? Oh, pretty nice weather we're having. Yep. But not a lot of people are just ready to jump into that conversation right off the bat, right after meeting someone. So, I do use my discretion and read the room, so to speak, when I meet new people. But given the job that I had and how closely I work with people, they oftentimes open up to me, and those conversations are the ones that really bear fruit and the ones that are most memorable to me. Then you look at the extroverted side, and if you are constantly out and about, doing this, doing that, going from A to B, seeing this person, seeing that person, a lot of the times I think that can be used as a crutch, always keeping your mind super occupied and busy. And people do this when they have a lot of inner turmoil, problems inside of them that they do not want to face, and so they're constantly distracting themselves, and that can also be harmful to your mental health. So, like everything, you take the good, you take the bad, the yin, the yang, come together, and you have to find the perfect balance. And I was not planning on giving advice here. I'm just kind of ranting on. Just so you know, I am not in any way, shape, or form involved in the mental health industry. I'm really just talking aloud to myself. I'm not telling you how you should live your life. I'm just, it's just flowing out as it comes to my mind. I wonder if it's ingrained in you, in your upbringing, on whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. What do you guys think? Do you think you're born an introvert? There are definitely kids that are shy or more reserved than others. And I'm not saying like, not due to bullying. I'm saying a perfect example. I have an older brother, and he, as long as I can remember, has always been a major bookworm. Now, not all bookworms are introverts. People like to read. I like to read. But, if left to his own as a child, he would never come out of his bedroom. He would always be building Lego or painting or, sorry, I'm not trying to flip you off, or reading. And, he was just very quiet, very reserved, doesn't really speak unless spoken to. Where me as a kid, if there were like guests over or something, I would go out and sing for them, put on the karaoke machine, or try to do magic tricks or perform, or yeah, like, just so drastically different, the whole dichotomy between my brother and I. So, I guess I'm more extrovert leaning. I'm definitely not shy. I don't have stage fright, Well, here I am. But, yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about. Just two kids raised in the exact same environment end up kind of on opposite ends of the personality spectrum and interest spectrum. I'm gonna get my brother on this channel. He hates ASMR. He thinks it's creepy and weird, but mark my words, I'm gonna get him on this channel. Also, you guys, I guess I'm revealing this now. If you guys are still here, if you're not bored to death by this conversation, I am starting a podcast with two very close friends of mine. And we should have that first episode out pretty soon. So more details will be coming later. I hope that when it comes out, you guys will check it out, join the conversation. Little bit of intellectual conversation, little bit of comedy, nothing but good times with good people. So, just as a sidebar, that's coming at you soon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Enneagrams, but there's a test called an Enneagram. It's like a personality test where you can fall essentially into one of 9 different personality types. And if you understand which type you are, it can be helpful in navigating your life, how you talk, how you act, how you think, what kind of habits you have, and how you interact with other numbers. So, for instance, I am 100% an Enneagram 7, and I want to read a little bit about this. Enneagram 7's the enthusiastic visionary. 7s are defined by their desire to experience everything life has to offer while avoiding pain and boredom. They appear to others to be lively, fun-loving. 7s are often very busy people who bounce from one activity to another in their quest to squeeze every possible bit of enjoyment out of life. Deepest fear. 7s fear getting stuck in a rut and missing out on the good life. They cope with this fear by constantly seeking exciting, novel, fun, and new experiences. Key personality traits of the 7. Wide range of interests. Childlike enthusiasm and energy. Curious, sparkling eyes. Many ongoing professional and creative projects. Upbeat and optimistic, glass half full outlook. Well liked and popular among peers. Now, I don't know how popular I am. Like, I keep a pretty small core group of, tight-knit friends. But that pretty much much describes me to a T. That has actually been a problem in my life, having too many interests at once, too many hobbies, and going out and spending a ton of money on things only to find out that, oh, I don't actually really like this, but it's the idea of trying new things. And I'm a huge example of FOMO, or fear of missing out on things. Oh, sitting at home while I know that there's a party going on just drives me absolutely crazy. And so, with the advent of the internet and being exposed to so many different amazing things and amazing people, I oftentimes get FOMO. Like, oh, I should be doing that too. That would be a really good use of my time. That would be interesting. Anyways, we're getting a little bit long here, and I don't know how long you guys want me to rant for, so I'll probably close this episode for today. What time are we at? Yeah, 1:47. I should probably try to get to bed here pretty soon. But, I was considering just making this, like, into a podcast. Late Night Thoughts podcast. But, truly let me know in the comments, was this too long and boring? Or do you want me to go for even longer? Do you want me to talk for 45 minutes? I'm happy to consider any and all suggestions. In fact, the kind of inspiration for this came from a YouTube comment where someone said they wanted to get to know me a little bit better. And this is just me being totally honest, raw, and authentic, and just spewing the words out of my mouth as they come to my mind. So, let me know if you guys like this form of video. And, believe me, I got lots to talk about. So, there will always be more. If you guys like it, give me a thumbs up to let me know, too. Well, you guys, this has been Late Night Thoughts, Episode 1. I'm Chaos ASMR, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Get some sleep.